Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another Challenger Spectate. Today is a Challenger Spectate and we're watching Selfmade, who is Fnatic's jungler. They might have two junglers and they alternate, I don't really remember, but yeah, it's one of them at least, if not the main jungler. He's playing Elise, and recently we made a video kind of going of me playing Elise, saying, is she the best AP jungler right now? And I definitely think, you know, her hat is in that ring of possibility that she is the best AP jungler for a couple reasons, you know. But in that video, a couple people did throw comments saying Elise doesn't have the carry potential as other AP champions. I'd argue she probably does, but she has good damage, but maybe not like the ultimate damage that like an Evelynn has. Like, yeah, Elise can one-shot people, but Evelynn can definitely one-shot people easier. But Elise brings more utility a lot of the time, and she's a safer pick. Also, if she gets far behind or gets behind in the game, she still has usefulness as the game progresses. Her cocoon and stuff like that. Her tower dives are really good. Let me just quickly check the sound again. Yeah, this ping volume resets every single replay apparently. So we'll just get rid of that, and it's a bit quieter then, because the higher rating you go, meanwhile First Blood happens, Bard gets killed. The higher rating you go, people spam ping. Again, they're not doing it negatively, but they're just doing it because they want information and they want to give information to their team. So very interesting start by Selfmade. So he's playing Elise, obviously. He starts red, gets a little bit of help of the Akali, and doesn't do a single camp. Goes straight red to blue. And then I imagine we'll do Gromp after. So I guess this is because Elise as a champion is not very good at AoE clearing in the early game. So this is interesting to me. So this seems to be a much more sustained clear for Elise than what I've been doing. And now, with her being level 3 and having, you know, both buffs, now you can do the AoE clearing a lot faster. So this is actually really interesting to me. So as someone that is obviously going to be picking up, was that Rex IQ? I think that was Rex IQ. As somebody that's going to be picking up jungle, and Elise is one of my favorite junglers, I will definitely be playing this champion. That has really opened my eye to what you do in the early game for this champ. So Akali gets killed in the top lane by the Maud. Maud did use flash for that. Now it's not even 3 minutes 15, remember? And she has done, you know, she's level 3. She's done both buffs. She has more farm than the Rek'Sai, who hasn't even done both of his buffs yet. So that's actually a pretty big deal. Like, that is, again, as I said, really opened my eyes to what is a good starting clear to Elise. So if you guys have already had a bit of, you know, advice on how to play the early game as Elise, throw a like on the video. And that's the kind of thing that these Challenger Spectates can offer. Meanwhile, obviously, a gank is happening top lane, and that will be a dead Maud. The Akali gets revenge, and now Elise, the problem is she's really low health because Maud does a buttload of damage. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to go do the crab or have the confidence to do the crab, because now Rek'Sai has probably either gone back or has now done blue, probably regened a bit, or in essence killed the crab. So yeah, that you know, that's the bar of the remaining time. So that being basically full, you know, shows the Elise this Rek'Sai has just done this. Now, weirdly, Elise is walking into the enemy jungle, and the enemy team will know this. They saw vision of her walking in the jungle. The reason why that they might feel relatively confident, if I was a betting man, and what we're going to do and just see if I'm correct, if I'm a betting man and I turn the vision up on all, I predict we're going to see Rek'Sai killing this crab, because that's where the confidence of Elise comes of, oh, I can walk in their jungle and take this, because Rek'Sai is going to go over there now and take the other one. So let's have a look. Boom, there you go. Again, doesn't take a genius to work out. That is the thought process going through Elise's mind of why does she have the confidence to invade. It's because, you know, you can predict a lot of the time where the opposition jungler is. And that just comes with game knowledge and understanding the role and, you know, just League of Legends in general. But that's, by the way, constantly what a jungler is doing. They are constantly thinking about where are they? Where's the opposition? What are they clearing? What are they doing? Nice cocoon flash. Going to go for the kill. Mordekaiser will go down, and Elise picks up the kill this time. Really nice. That was lovely. So this Maud started well, now ending poorly. He's now falling behind in farm, and also his build being a little bit weird. I have seen a couple people build Nashor's Tooth on Mordekaiser because of the Conqueror synergy with it now. I don't think it's great, personally. Especially against something like Akali. Like, if you're rushing a Nashor's Tooth on Maud, that's very squishy. Meanwhile, enemy bot lane, Rek'Sai going for a very deep fight. Elise now in the area. This could go very bad for blue team. Bard got a double Q. 1 kill for Aphelios. Elise picks up the other kill. Now Nautilus behind the tower. Luckily there was a minion tanking the tower for himself. And they will get 2 of them. Enemy team completely overcommitting for that. But that was a really nice counter gank, you could basically say, on Elise. The champion itself, and I'd say another strength to this champion, to, you know, put my argument that she is maybe the best AP jungler right now. She's really good at surviving. It's very common to see an Elise never die or like has insanely low deaths. Not because the players are KDA protecting. It's mainly because in her kit is survivability. It's like, okay, I'm going to go full engage and I do all the damage I possibly can do and now I can repel away. Like, that's the kind of benefit to this champion, which I say is also really good. Aphelios gets solo killed to the Nautilus. Mordekaiser dies again in topside. And you can even see Mordekaiser is now getting doubled in farm. And, you know, weirdly, the Akali has just got a Doran's Ring and a Rejuve bead. So it's not exactly like, you know, she's got a lot of items. She does overstay, gets killed. At least going for a gank with the Z combination, with a nice cocoon. That will be a dead... what? Oh my god, I didn't even know that was a possibility. So just to explain what just happened there, because yes, WTF to Elise's, I've never seen that interaction before. Silas stole Elise's ult, which is her spider form. So he went in spider form and then just repelled away. Obviously it was too late, he died, but I had no idea he can just become Elise as the spider. I had no idea. Wow, that's really weird. Anyway, the Scuttle Crab in Bottom River has spawned. Elise most likely is making their way there. Because remember, she did miss both of the Scuttle Crabs. Which last season at least was a very big deal. It's still a relatively big deal nowadays. I'd probably say less so. But yeah, a lot of your early game XP from jungling, you guys remember there was even team fights over Scuttle Crabs in the early game last season. Dragon is now being done, you know, they've got the vision. Elise just came back from buying. She's at a power spike right now with a completed jungle item. Bot lane is pushed into their territory. So this does give a pretty much free dragon. Elise doesn't smite it. Again, you don't have to smite every objective. If you know it's completely for free and you want to save your smite of like something else, oh, I'm going to go and steal his red after this. I'm going to go do my blue. You don't have to use smite. Meanwhile, top lane, by the way, potential dive by the enemy team. Akali is actually 2v1ing at this stage. Both of them really low. Very surprised Akali didn't E back in. I know she had low energy, but they were both really low. But she will, you know, has the Lee Sin syndrome. When he hits Q, press Q again. Akali reserved, and she didn't. Repel opener by Elise, which usually you do not do. You only do a repel opener if you're basically very confident they're dead anyway. Second time in a row, Silas steals the spider form. Too slow, though, for the damage that the Zed and the Elise can put out instantly, pretty much. And worth noting... I haven't ran this yet on Elise. This is Conqueror Elise, by the way. This isn't Electrocute Elise, which is usually what I would do. Nautilus full engaged by himself. Going to get caught out. Aphelios picks up a kill. So far, so good. 205 by Elise, having a great game. Jungle comparison. Farm is basically even, or going to be after Elise picks up a couple of these camps. She hasn't farmed for a while. But yeah, great involvement. She's so far been involved in 7 out of the 8 kills. So impressive performance so far. And realistically, AP junglers are not known for their early games. Most AP champions are not early game champions because they're reliant on scaling with items. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai kills Aphelios and bot lane. Akali gets another kill on the Mordekaiser, which at this stage... oh, really? Okay, let me just rewind and just say, so Rek'Sai is going to die, but this is a counterplay to Rek'Sai. Now, remember, in the situation that you're about to watch... So, by Rek'Sai being underground, remember Rek'Sai has no vision of places that are not warded, and Rek'Sai as a champion gets tremors of movement. So what does Elise do? She, wait for it, stands still. So she could continue running forward now to try and save the Bard, but if she continues running forward, what likely would happen is Rek'Sai will flash away, he's got flash up, or he'll start tunneling away. Instead, Elise stands still to pretend the Bard's all alone, oh, he's running away, so the Rek'Sai continues to overcommit, and then she moves to kill him. Really smart play. Like, it's little things like that Like, it doesn't sound crazy impressive to a lot of people. Oh, that's obvious, you're playing against a Rek'Sai. Yes, it is obvious when you're playing against a Rek'Sai standstill, but to actually do it in a game instantly, to like, not think about it, just do it instinctively, that's the impressive part. And that's what you see in Challenger and, you know, the higher ratings and pros more consistently. It's the little things that add up. Like, let's say this was a silver game or a gold game, guarantee that Elise would not have just stood still. They would have just ran to the Rek'Sai, and maybe the Rek'Sai would have had enough reaction time to run away, and boom, you've just missed out on a kill. But it's the little thing of knowing how to beat a champion, how to counter a champion, how to play well against it, and doing it consistently is what makes these players great. And again, I love doing these Challenger replays because I feel they're very educational. And, you know, you get that, right? You know, even in my solo queue games, that's the type of small thing that I might not mention in a solo queue game. Meanwhile, the Elise is going very hyper-aggressive right now. But yeah, because live commentaries are so quick and stuff, I wouldn't have enough time. You know, I can't pause a live commentary to explain that. And maybe my explanation, if I did manage to catch that in a live commentary, which, you know, I might have not been able to, it might have been rushed, it might have been whatever, but you got a full explanation of why that was so good, and that's why I do like doing these episodes. And obviously you've had a lot of them because of the Christmas period. I actually will say this is actually my last video that I'm recording before my Christmas break. There is some videos after this one because this will be a second video of the day. So tomorrow's main video will be the last one, you know, officially, but I'm recording this one last. I'm recording this on the 23rd of December at 6:30 in the evening. And after this one is done, I'm done. I just got to edit everything, get it uploaded on the channel, get them all ready to go, scheduled. And yeah, I'm done. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content that we've obviously prepared ahead of time. Meanwhile, worth noting, as we were doing that little explanation, there was a big fight in bot lane. Rek'Sai got a kill or two. I think both bot laners died. Now Rek'Sai's in trouble, though. Red Smite coming out by Elise. Can the repel follow him? There's the repel now. She's got to land that cocoon. Rek'Sai flashes away, and Akali gets another solo kill on that Maud. And yes, the Maud is still committing to this weird build. I potentially being, you know, 1 and 5 with half farm would have probably backed out of this weird build by Maud by now. Maybe I buy some magic resist to try and survive, you know, not just Mercury Treads, like buy actual magic resist. Meanwhile, Zed gets a solo kill on mid lane, you know, that matchup. Oh, actually, they trade. That matchup should very much go in Zed's favor. Sylas as a champion is extremely weak. That's the problem, what I will say. And again, standing still once again, looking if Rek'Sai would overcommit coming. Don't show the tremors. That's the problem, what I will say, of League's design recently. Riot has been releasing what I would say actually overpowered kits. The kits of the champion are overpowered. And when a kit is overpowered, the only thing you can do to try and balance them is nerf the numbers. But when you nerf the numbers too much, or if you nerf the numbers a little bit, the kit can still be overpowered, so they're still really strong. So you've got to nerf them even more, numbers-wise, and then they just become useless. And then I think that's basically what's happened with Sylas. I think that's what's happened with Neeko. I think that's what's happened with Yuumi. I think that's what's happened. There's legit a pattern. And I think the next one that's probably going to go that way, meanwhile Elise getting a nice triple kill, lovely, lovely. Then the next one that is probably going to go that way, by the way, is Aphelios. Same thing, like the champion's kit is busted, his numbers are too strong. The only way to nerf that champion, meanwhile Sylas gets a roam kill, the only way to nerf Aphelios, in theory, is to nerf his numbers. But his kit is so strong with synergizing with each other that you'll have to nerf the numbers a lot to probably the point that he's just weak. This is why the kits are so important of the reworks and the champions that come out, because there's only so much the balance team can do. Like, remember, when a new champion comes out, and if that champion is overpowered, a lot of the time that isn't the balance team's fault. That's the kit or the champion just being way too overloaded. There's a reason that when you look at new champions, Neeko, Akali, etc., they come out with all these mechanics, and like half of the mechanics go within 6 months. So this is why I'd say, don't give the balance team a hard time when new champions come out. Give the designers the hard time of making just really overpowered kits. Meanwhile, Aphelios gets 1v2'd. For some reason, he is trying to fight them to, by himself. Has died quite a lot, the Aphelios. As a weakness, if you wanted to say, to the champion, he is, a immobile AD carry. So, in theory, If he has a bad game, he will have a pretty damn bad game. Cocoon over the wall, then jumps over with the blasting plant, maybe looking for something with the Bard, misses the Q, does the Bard. The Ignite comes down. They're going to go for the one-shot on the Bard. He does go down. Elise now trying to go for the interesting repel. Ooh, bad repel, actually. That's going to get the Elise killed. With a teleport, Silas is coming bot side, getting himself an assist, and Rek'Sai will pick up the shutdown. So yeah, bad repel by the Elise there. Don't actually think she needed to do it anyway, because, you know, there was no flash yet by the Kai'Sa. She was relatively near, but overcommitted, and that's just the way that goes. Zed is looking to clean up and, you know, avenge the Elise. Not going to happen this time, though, and he will probably just head back to mid. He might try to steal the red, but I doubt it. Because as Zed is relatively squishy, and doing this, he is going to try. Doing this is going to be high risk for him. If Silas is around, if Rek'Sai is around, he's going to take a bunch of damage actually killing this red. He will get it in the end because no one's around to stop him, actually. But yeah, that was risky. Top side, let's watch it while nothing's happening with the Elise. Maud at this point, worth noting, is 3 levels down, but worth... You know, the Akali was pretty low. Silas headed straight to top side. Going to try and get the Akali, but she didn't use both of her ultimates, actually, to get the kill. So she does manage to escape with the second ultimate jump. Now the Elise is coming top side. Silas wasn't the whole time looking for the Akali. Akali low health. Does manage to survive for now again with the Conqueror. Will she live? She does live in the end, of course. Again, Akali is another one of those champions we might have mentioned. Overloaded kit, overpowered kits. The only thing you can do is nerf her numbers. Well, again, they've removed over half of the champion's mechanics practically since release. So really the only thing you now can do is nerf her numbers. So yeah. What I would say is Mordekaiser, in theory, is very good into Akali. I think I've actually played the matchup myself and owned an Akali, but this weird build by Maud, I think, is the main thing that has hurt him. It's way too squishy. The whole point, when you're playing Maud, you know in the 1v1 you outscale Akali. You just do. Your scaling is better, your tankiness, your damage is good with Conqueror, your healing's not bad. So you do beat her eventually, so why risk the early game with a insanely squishy build? It makes no sense. And I guess, you know, preseason is about experimentation, trying things out. But there is a limit. You know, you still want to win games. Anyway, Rek'Sai is actually having a great game. Gets himself a double kill. This is going to be interesting. Is this another triple kill for the Elise coming up? Rek'Sai just is like, no, I'm out. See you later. Elise is actually going to turn tail and go for the Rek'Sai of all things. Does get him. Now can turn on the rest of them. Good decision making, actually. One of two things the reason was there. One, it was, you know, one to get the shutdown. Well, that's mean. Once they get the shutdown on the Rek'Sai, that is probably one reason. And secondly, the Zed was there to kill the other people. So, yeah, both of the enemy bot lane die. Maybe no one got the Kai'Sa. I actually missed that. She might have got executed, which if she did, that's actually pretty good. And, yeah, so they do some cleanup. So both junglers on each team is actually having a pretty good game. 9-1-6 for the Elise with 100 farm. 8-4-1 for Rek'Sai, which, you know, that is pretty good going considering you've got a pretty far behind team in mid and top. So the Rek'Sai is doing pretty good. Is it enough, though, to really contest this Elise? Probably not. Now, what I say, the weakness of Red Team right now is if the game goes long enough, their scaling isn't bad, but they do have double Assassin. Double Assassin, Akali, and Zed. Usually Assassins obviously want to split push because they're not amazing in team fights. Why are Assassins not amazing in team fights? Well, when you have a whole team together that can chain CC something, you spot an Assassin, you CC it, it doesn't do any damage then. You know, it's that kind of thing. So Assassins do not love grouping. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai goes down in top side. Big fight actually is occurring. Assassins don't love grouping in that sense, and the red team has 2 of them. So does that mean you're going to have 2 Assassins split pushing? Probably not. Anyway, Elise will rappel over the wall. Questionable flash by the Nautilus. He will go down. But bingo bango, Mordekaiser actually gets a solo kill on the Zed. Now, technically, well, Kai'Sa was in the area, but you saw she didn't get an assist. So Mordekaiser, with finishing his Nashor's Tooth, kills the Zed, who's actually quite strong. So this is my point that I was trying to make, is I have seen people do Nashor's Tooth Maud. I know it has strength to it, but buy it as your second item. They actually take the dragon as well. That's pretty good going. Take it as your second item. Just don't risk the getting, you know, with being so squishy, you're risking dying a lot to an Akali, and that's exactly what happened this game. Worth noting, that is a insanely weird Bard build. Dead Man's Plate as his rush item on Bard. going to be honest with everybody, I have never seen that before. I've never seen a Bard rush Dead Man's Plate. Like, it's for probably his movement speed. Oh, he got the cocoon. Lovely. It's, you know, he's running Predator Bard, I'm pretty sure. Or is, oh no, he's running Omnistone Bard. Oh boy, don't do that at home, folks. Omnistone is not good. Akali dies in a 2v1 in top side. Rek'Sai potentially getting caught out by the Elise. She should back off because there's nobody around to help. But yeah, he's running Omnistone on Bard, and he just had Predator at the time. That's a very weird build, but that's just the way it goes, I guess. But anyway, Elise going to continue farming. You can notice, actually, the farm has calmed down. You know, not doing camps basically on cooldown anymore is the Elise. She's looking for ganks. Why? Well, she's 10-1-6. High kill pressure game. She's insanely fed. So what is a good way of denying the enemy team a way to come back into the game? Kill them a bunch. Just don't let them live. Elise is looking for the Q engage. Remember, she wants to pop that Conqueror, which is really good when she pops her W. Look at the healing. She's actually out-healing the Silas's damage right now. And she will end up killing him pretty easily in a solo. Silas goes down. You know, having a pretty rough game as him, which I'm not surprised about. The champion is just in a very rough state. Zed gets revenge in bot lane, does manage to kill Maud now. And Maud had a stopwatch, or he purchased it just after he died, not really sure. But Zed does get revenge, which is good. Does also, by the way, have Moby's, the Zed, which Moby's obviously is pretty good on Zed, but when you're permanently split pushing, is it even needed? Akali gets a nice kill. Continuing on the Rek'Sai, will pick up the Rek'Sai. No danger at all from getting killed. Baron is being pinged. Can they do it? Will they do it? Elise not looking for it. Maybe turning to do it now. Yep, Baron is pinged. Elise is on her way. And just to remind everybody, meanwhile she walks through a ward, the jungler is the one that decides. I know that can be frustrating for people like, dude, we can do Baron, and your jungler just isn't interested. Listen to your jungler when it comes to objectives a lot of the time, especially Barons, because if the jungler just isn't confident in smiting, don't risk it, unless it's completely free, which this one relatively should be free. But yeah, generally it's the jungler making the call of, let's do Baron, or at least, let's say, they should be the one that's confirming to do the Baron. If people are pinging, hey, let's do it, wait until the jungler is also there, or waiting, you know, the general thing. Like, the jungler's the one with the smite. The jungler's the one that's supposed to, like, you know, confirm the kill of the objective. That's part of their job, is objective, like, confirmation, is smiting it. So, yeah, don't force Barons and stuff if your jungler isn't feeling it, unless it's completely free. Like, if, you know, you just ace the whole enemy team and it's like, oh, this is free Baron. Yeah, sure, do it then. But yeah, right, Nautilus engaging straight away with his Ignite, by the way. Elise prolonging her cocoon. She will go down, but maybe she will take the Kai'Sa with her. Does take the Kai'Sa with her, good to see. And yeah, so a little bit of catchy catch does the enemy team. Actually a smart move, to be honest. When you're behind, when they're just getting Baron, you should just hide in a bush occasionally, get one pick, and that just sometimes ruins the momentum that the enemy team has. Oh, they got Baron? Oh, we just killed one of them, though. Maybe even killed two. Bard survives for now. Really nice survival. Woo, Zed actually could have gone on that Rek'Sai. Doesn't in the end. But I would say what was good is that would have definitely ruined the complete momentum for Red Team if they killed Elise without anything. But Elise took the Kai'Sa with her, so they don't have an AD carry to help push. So that is really good by the Elise to actually manage to get that kill. 3v1, no, 4v1 happening in bot side right now. Let's watch that because Elise is just coming to buy. Gonna try and make her escape as the Akali. Really gets far away with her ultimate. She's going to manage to ultimate probably again, flashes. She has a second ultimate available, I think, and she will just survive. 4v1, gets away. Maybe not in the end. Rek'Sai is going to get a kill. Well, there we go. She shouldn't have stayed around for farm. She should have just backed away. 5v2 right now. Can they do anything? Bard is fighting. Felios misses that ultimate, which is a bit weird, and they will get killed. Bard is not dying to the Maud, though, which is kind of funny. He will now. At least now in a 4v1. Can she do anything? Repel maybe to the backside and does get killed. Why does that happen? Well, you do have a split-pushing Zed that just took an inhibitor. So this is the negative of playing with a split-pushing champion, is if you're like, oh, I want a team fight in that, but if someone is literally not interested in grouping, it can get frustrating. Like, you guys know, I very much do not like people that split-push, or like, I don't like the playstyle of split-pushing, because I actually think it hurts you more than helps you. Because just kill them. You know, when you're ahead, you know, you're 10 kills ahead, you're thousands of gold ahead. In a pure 5v5 right now, there is no way Red Team loses a 5v5, even with their assassins and stuff. So, you know, just group kill them and end the game. Anyway, re-engage is happening. Silas at this stage does not have a completed Zhonya. Zed does not pick up the kill so far. He is going to overcommit for it. He does get the kill. His ultimate did run out, so he can't shadow away. Nautilus going to look for it. Akali gets a 2v1 double kill by the looks of it. And he will maybe get away this Zed. Can he do it? Nautilus probably really desperately wanting this kill. Yumu's procced, and the Zed will survive. Really nice there. So Elise is back alive. We haven't really touched upon her build much. Standard build. Oh, Rek'Sai does find the Zed in the end. Standard build. Red Smite, because especially you're running Conqueror, so you're auto-attacking people. That's what you generally want. If you go the other build, like the non-Conqueror, you go Electrocute, then I would recommend the Blue Smite instead. But she's just gone the standard Rylai to keep on top of people, slow them a bunch. Liandry's the burn damage. Liandry's is one of the best AP items in the game. And then she's probably going to be building a Death Cap now just to maximize her damage. Aphelios lands his ultimate, but not the most effective ultimate. Mordekaiser ults the Aphelios, and the Aphelios kills him, but now he's stuck in the middle of the fight, and they will just back off. They did not get the inhib, by the way. They do have the top one, which is now battering on the base towers. But yeah, this game is a bit messy, and I'd say it's messy because the red team aren't, what I'd say, working well together. Elise going to look for the Rek'Sai, who does now, by the way, have GA. Relatively squishy. Elise actually picks it all up with a nice cocoon. Oh, very close that the Akali nearly lands her spells, which would have probably gotten the Rek'Sai dead. But he does survive for now, which is good for that guy. So how does this game kind of close out? Realistically, they have an open inhib that they can go get, so they're just probably going to go back, get their strength, then probably just go mid, get that inhibitor, or, meanwhile, they do get a nice kill, but Silas nearly killing the Akali, or, you could just group bot, ignore that this is open, you've already got this one, use the super minion advantage to build up the wave, have someone distracted here, and just break into the enemy base, and then just kind of overload them with minions. They'll probably force a bad fight, you're stronger than them, you win the fight, you win the game. So you can see that's kind of what's happening now. The pings to go bot lane is happening. Doesn't surprise me. It sounds weird, but actually going bot lane to get this, even though there's a tower there, is arguably easier than going mid. Because mid is very open. You can get caught pretty easily. Zed gets a nice ultimate off. Doesn't die yet. Does get Mord ulted. Is surviving for now. Has his ultimate to probably go back. Doesn't in the end. Mordekaiser does get a kill, but now in the middle of the enemy team. This will be most of them dead. Kai'Sa coming in the back of the fight. Mordekaiser getting himself a double kill. Bard will pick up the kill. Unfortunate timing coming out for Bard. That's the one. And Kai'Sa, being a bit late to the fight. But meanwhile, remember, pretty sure Akali wasn't there. So this game is a series of 4v5s, basically, for red team, that this game would go so much smoother if they actually worked together as a team. They're only winning these or doing well because they got so far ahead in the early game. If this game was even and they didn't have that crazy far lead that they got from lane, they would probably be struggling at the moment, but they're just so far ahead, so it doesn't really matter. So Akali was just being mid, and Bard being as tanky as he is. It's ridiculous, that build. He actually survives, and he just goes mid lane to help get that inhib, so that works out. Bard going to try his best to survive. Probably going to go down. Maybe not. Rek'Sai wanting to kill the Bard. He will now go down. Akali doing a bit of fighting. Not sure anything good is going to come off this. Probably going to focus on escaping. Does dodge with the blasting and will probably get away. Baron is up, which is a potential for red team to do. Now that the enemy team has 2 inhibitors to deal with. Rek'Sai on the back foot from the Akali. That obviously would be a fantastic kill because that would definitely confirm the Baron. But I don't think anything is going to come of that. So they can go do the Baron if they want to. It's relatively free. The Rek'Sai might try to go and steal. But 2 inhibitors is going to keep the blue team really in their base due to the pressure. So what you're most likely to see is Baron probably go back, or maybe not if they don't have much gold, and then probably go bot lane. You can see, as I said, the Rek'Sai is going to look for that steal potential, because why wouldn't you in the end? It's kind of like a last-ditch effort. If they get this Baron, they're probably going to win the game. Elise actually stops the Baron. They'd rather just focus on killing. Zed does die. Aphelios trying to do as much damage. Elise kills the Mordekaiser. Now going to return to the fight. Aphelios going to do a buttload of damage. Is going to take down the Silas. Akali surviving for a really long time. Elise now going to go for the Nautilus, which is questionable. Probably should go for the Rek'Sai instead. Cocoon misses, and that will probably actually be game. Rek'Sai's the only one alive. Rek'Sai can't really take on 3 of them. And once again, that might have been a 4v5, by the way. It's literally a series of 4v5s. Anyway, that will most likely be it. This was a great game. 16 kills, by the way, the Elise had. And yeah, it's weird because you wouldn't even think that she had 16 kills. But it kind of creeps up on you. She's got that carry potential. I think, can confirm that the Elise did the most damage in the game. Great performance, high levels of ability power. And yeah, low deaths, great survival, good cocoons. But yeah, just really nice. Nice Elise play. She's definitely in the ring for being one of the best ability power champions, if not the best. And when I say if not the best, she doesn't take as much, what I will say, she doesn't take as much knowledge to pull off as much as like a Evelyn does. Like Evelyn is riskier to play than Elise. Evelyn needs to exactly know how much damage she can do. Elise doesn't. Elise doesn't have that execute that you have to be really confident in. So I'd say Elise is a lot more of a beginner AP jungler champion, but also might be better in general than a lot of them anyway. Like Nidalee is another one, but Nidalee is really hard to play. Eva's going to get really fed or probably feed. Diana is hit or miss if she's good in the jungle nowadays. So yeah, I honestly think Elise probably is on average the best AP jungler in the game right now. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you everybody for watching my Christmas content. Obviously it's already been Christmas by the time you're watching this video. But yeah, it was a bit stressful to get it all done, but we managed it. This was the final video of me recording. I'm going to now go and edit all the videos, get them all uploaded, and then start my relaxation week off. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on it, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.